Hello, 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 and welcome. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining me. I'm Sheila Balgobin, known as the Dream Decipherer, and this is Dream Your Life, Live Your Dream Live. I'm really pleased to have a special guest with me here today who's not only a colleague, but has become a good friend. And she'll be joining me from California in just a few moments. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a flavor of what we'll be talking about today. My guest is a crystal healer, and I wanted to share with my audience how we can use other means, natural means, to be able to improve our sleep and to enhance our dreams. And Shai, who is the principal in the Quantum Gems, has a special relationship with crystals, healing crystals. And I can't wait for her to join us and share some of the crystals that can be used to improve sleep and to, as I say, enhance dreams. Now, people may think, well, why would crystals be helpful in any way? And the reason why, if you think about it, we're crystalline beings ourselves. We have iron in our blood. We have copper and other minerals in our bodies. We have calcium in our bones, another mineral, and crystals are minerals just like the calcium in our bones and the iron in our blood. So it would make sense to be able to, let's see, I'm going to see if I can, your friend here, and there we are. Hopefully she'll be on in a second. Ah, there you are. Hi. I was just explaining why crystals are actually helpful with matters concerning not only sleep and dreams, but our health in general. And the reason why is we're actually crystalline beings. As I was just explaining, we have calcium in our bones, we have iron in our blood. So we have minerals, just like crystals are composed of minerals. So it would make sense that crystals have the ability to impact our bodies and energy systems in different ways. But to move on from that, so we're going to, I'm going to introduce you properly now. And Shai is going to be sharing with us some of the crystals that can be used to enhance sleep and dreams. But to give you a brief introduction, Shai, who, as I say, is the principal of the Quantum Gems, is a crystal intuitive. And what that means is that she has like this really special relationship with crystals. And I can attest to that. The crystals that I have obtained from Shai have a particular energy to them. It's not quite, it's different. It's a very healing energy, and I think it's because she resonates so strongly with working with crystals that they have a calming and lovely energy to them. You just have to experience them for yourself to understand. But I not only use her crystals for myself, like this lovely bracelet here made of tiger's eye, but I also use her crystals in my courses, and I use crystals in different ways in the courses that I offer, including my dream interpretation course. And I find that people enjoy learning about the crystals and using the crystals and enhancing their lives in different ways with crystals. So I'm really thrilled to have Shai here today, and I'll let her introduce herself a bit more, and then we're going to get into it and what crystals she has for us today that can help with sleep and dreams. So Shai, over to you. and tell us about yourself.
So my name is Shai. I am a crystal intuitive and artist, and I am the creative director for Quantum Gems. And Quantum Gems is a spiritual self-care brand, and it's just aimed at helping professionals, entrepreneurs, people who are work in corporate America, for them to cope with all of the things that they have to take care of throughout the day. And one of the ways that we do that through meditation with crystals and going to dig for crystals and being mindful of our own personal um,
Oh, fantastic. So, what goodies have you got for us today? We'll look at, I think, sleep first and then maybe look at dreams, because a lot of people are complaining these days about poor sleep.
yeah,
So, and if you're not sleeping well, you're not dreaming either. So, we'll start with sleep.
yeah, to actually um, fall is one like
Okay, you're fading in and out a little bit for some reason. Is that any better? Uh oh. Hopefully we'll get Shy back. I mean, she is coming to us from LA, so um, hopefully she'll be back with us. But we're going to be starting with crystals that can enhance sleep. So, oh, you're back now. It looks like. Nope, not quite. But I know that one of the crystals that I use quite often to help with sleep, especially if my mind is doesn't want to stop, is to use amethyst. Now, amethyst is great for a good number of things, but it can, when our minds are rehashing stuff in our sleep, I think we seem to have lost Shy, but she should be back soon. Um, but amethyst can be helpful when our minds just keep going and won't stop. And amethyst will help us to clarify what exactly is going on that's keeping us awake so that we can actually resolve it and get back to sleeping well. Another crystal that can be very helpful is hematite, which is an iron ore uh, that that is very good for helping us to sleep better. And in fact, my hematite at home actually has the word dream etched into it. Hi, we've got Shy back.
sorry.
Okay, so I've just talked about, while we were waiting for you to come back on, I talked about amethyst and I talked about hematite as good sleep aids. Oh, there you go, amethyst. Yes. Oh, that's a pretty one. And oh, a amethyst skull. Wow. Or is that looks like is it amethyst?
It's
Oh, okay.
and it has some pieces of like iron and cacao inside, a little
Right. Oh, okay. So, I mean, I've given a basic explanation as to amethyst, but you might want to expand on that and talk about why, other than the fact that amethyst helps clarify our minds so that whatever's disturbing our sleep will be come up so that we can resolve it, and so that we can get to sleep. But there may be other reasons why amethyst is helpful for sleep. So if you'd like to expand on that or go on to something else, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to expand on that. I mean, with amethyst, the reason why it's purple is because of a mineral called manganese. And because purple, most of the time, just through the being able to look at different colors allows you to calm down. But the mineral specifically, the us actually fall and melatonin production. So that was one of the things that I mean, I've always loved amethyst. Amethyst is one of those crystals that it comes in so many different shapes and forms and so many ways. but it's always calmed me down. Like as soon as I pick up a piece, it's always been a very much like,
Ah,
and as soon as obviously, we can kind of snug covers or whatever it is that we need to fall asleep. Another which is very much related to amethyst is Super 7.
okay.
So
Oh, fantastic.
it's really nice piece of Super 7. The Super 7 has 7 different minerals. And like you mentioned earlier, some of the minerals that crystals are made of, we're made up of those same types of minerals, just a clear composition. And with Super 7, you can use it to fall asleep and kind of stay asleep because it has a lot of root chakra root chakra minerals. It allows you to feel very grounded. It allows you to start to kind of feel heavy. That heaviness that you start to feel where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm falling asleep. Super 7 is one of the
Well, I laugh because the Super 7 is also called Melody Stone.
yes, exactly.
And I have one, and I have to say, it's very chatty. It loves to talk. And people think talk, yes, crystals, have consciousness just as we do. And some of my crystals are very, very chatty. So yes, Melody talks.
Because
I ask it questions and it gives me answers. So yeah.
but I find that when I'm falling asleep is when I get the most clarity for my day. When I'm like, oh, that's why that happened. Because I feel like I'm so scientific and like metaphysically smart that sometimes I don't pick up things really quickly because I'm always
Sure.
low and maybe on a different frequency. I have never really pinpointed why, but the ways that I kind of calm my down for the day and just kind of figure out what happened throughout my day. And, I basically run through my day before I fall asleep. It could just be a Virgo thing, a channeler thing. I'm not sure.
Okay, so we've had amethyst, we've had Super 7s. What else have you got that helps with sleep?
So, being able to, this is a selenite. So, this selenite, you don't have to get chakra colors on it. But I find that using selenite under a pillow helps to get rid of any type of stagnant energy. So any type of intrusive thought, not necessarily on a clinical level, but where we're just you start to kind of have those thoughts that just won't really go away, and you kind of want to maybe think of sheep jumping over, classical things you to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can't quiet down especially if you live in a city. They call it the city mind. That you kind of really can't quiet that down enough to think of things like sheep because you haven't seen a sheep,
Yeah.
maybe in a book possibly. So
Yes, it's calming that monkey mind that we have, especially when, as I said, with amethyst, when our minds just won't stop. Whereas amethyst will bring up whatever it is that you're kind of going around and round in circles about. I think with the selenite is just, I call it the turn off the broken record already. Crystal, it's like shut it off. Yes, shut off the noise. Yeah,
because I'm a talker. So
yeah.
let me calm myself down, and I'm usually around my throat area with the selenite, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Oh, fantastic. I said, yeah, selenite is a lovely stone, and it's one that doesn't need cleaning at all. That's very important, with that we don't, that stones need to be cleaned regularly. People don't realize that. And if you buy new crystals, always cleanse them. And there's different ways that you can do that. I'm as a Reiki healer, I use Reiki to clear the energy off of crystals because they've been mined. They've gone through various people's hands. One of the things that I think is great about Shai's crystals is that she actually cleanses them before they actually go out to anyone. And I think that makes a big difference. in terms of the energy of the crystals. I see somebody else here also likes selenite, it seems, Kelly Moon Buddha McCann. Yes, that's like, yeah, it's one of my go-tos as well. I have a beautiful, huge slab that I sit my other crystals on that I have gotten from Shy, and that keeps them all nice and clean. So, yeah, it's beautiful. Now, I said we're going to switch gears a little bit here, I think, and maybe talk about some of the crystals that are good for dreaming. Let's say we've kind of cleared our energy and we're sleeping good now. Now, here dream things. There are crystals that can help enhance dreams, can reduce nightmares, and reducing nightmares. That's one of the jobs of amethyst, is to reduce nightmares. But there are other crystals that can be used to either call up dreams, to manifest them, or to help you to remember them better. So let's dive into that a little bit and see what you have to share with us today.
So I brought a scolecite bracelet. So I'm gonna
Mm,
show you what it looks like on my arm. It's the white one here, and I'm gonna take it off so you can see it. And
okay.
the thing about scolecite that I really, really like is it's a different type of crystal. It's one of those zeolite crystals. So it radiates light. And how
Mm,
we want to be able to ward away nightmares. The crystals and gems that help with that are the crystals and gems that help to radiate light. And most people, and quartz, I wouldn't sleep with it unless it's maybe a nice smoky quartz. I have a really nice smoky quartz.
yeah, which is good for sleep. Smoky quartz. Yeah,
Absolutely. That's more of an thing, just because quartz can be kind of volatile depending upon your energy. But
sure.
the thing with scolecite is that it helps to attract nothing but good, positive light to physical being. And once it's doing that to your physical being, it can do that to your spirit being as your so it
Sure.
keep you safe, so to speak, metaphysically, while you're in the next realm, which I really enjoy because it's I astral travel in my dream, and sometimes I just have very lucid dreams, and I remember things, messages from my dream, so it's always very helpful. And if it's in a break form, you can just pop it on, and you don't necessarily have to worry about it falling in between the bed and the wall.
Yes. Well, there's something you've just said that's important for people to remember, is that because crystals work generally, not always, but generally work slowly in terms of meshing with our own energy, that you have to wear them on your person for a time, or have them in your environment for a time, in order to be able to, for that the energy of the crystal to start to meld with our own energy. So some crystals do work very, very quickly, but most of them will take a few days, maybe even weeks, to start to harmonize with our own energy systems, so that they start, there starts to be a synergy between the crystal and the person. And I think that's something that a lot of people, may not be aware of. It's like, oh, I wear this for like 24 hours, and it's like, it's all going to happen, and that's not the case.
Like,
There are, like I said, there are a few crystals that are fast acting, but even then, they still need to have some kind of relationship with you. Think of it that way. They need to have a relationship with the person. And the only way you can have a relationship with anyone or anything is to spend time with it or them. Whether it's your pet, your partner, or a crystal, you have to spend time with them in order to be able to have that energetic back and forth, if you will, that energetic relationship.
I'm glad you said that because I think that's one of the main criticisms of crystal energy and crystal is that, well, I didn't necessarily feel anything. But not everyone is as sensitive to crystal energy that they plant together. So you have to find your thing, you want to learn to kind of stuff. But when you're looking work with certain crystals that are going to be about you. That crystal needs to have a time to get to know you, to filter away energy that you no longer need. And it's just like
Sure.
you don't just go, on a perpetual, vacation with a new friend when you just first meet this person and you're spending months and months and months on, no, it's you have your daily life and, just like when you put your crystal in a garden, whatever it is that you do with the crystal, and whatever it is you want to do with the crystal can be done,
Yeah.
especially
Sh-
there's,
Shy.
oh,
I'm sorry to break in. It's like for some reason, it's like when you move, it kind of breaks up a little bit. So just kind of be aware of that.
okay. I think maybe I should just hold my phone. Is that helpful?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better.
Okay. So, you're saying that getting to know a crystal, your crystal getting to know your energy, that's helpful. There's certain fast acting ones, but the ones that are, slow acting usually kind of have the most potent effects. And lapis is one of those crystals.
Oh,
It, right? It is a very royal type of energy. It has pyrite in it, which is very helpful to ground your energy and
mm-hmm.
uh, so that you can get all of that dream goodness. And it comes in so many different shapes and forms. And the longer that you work with I was about to say an amethyst. Amethyst is very similar too. The longer
Mm,
with the amethyst too is very similar. But the longer that you work with a piece of lapis, starts to unlock abilities that you never had before. And that's
mm.
one of those things. Like I was hanging out with a friend one time and she had a piece of lapis in her hand and she read my thoughts. And I was like, mad
Wow.
at her, like, wait a minute. But we were, very close friends. So it's not as if, she and I didn't know each other. And it wasn't an
Yeah.
obvious, answer. But it's just like I said something in my head and she heard it. I did not say it out loud. And the only
Wow.
was that she had this little tiny piece of I was like, wait,
That's a bit scary
yeah. And
when you
she found
think
it.
about it.
She only found it looking for something else and didn't even know how long it had been in her jacket. And the jacket's been sitting
Oh, wow.
for a while. So obviously
Wow.
we spent a whole lot of time in our car. So I was like, the whole time. So
I said, yeah, you might want to be careful about when you use that, have that around.
yeah, and that friend was for sure like a medium. She was already psychically inclined. So I'm assuming that was one of, her
Well, it probably enhanced, yeah, enhanced her ability
that
to hear things as an intuitive.
absolutely
But wow, that's fascinating. That's something I wasn't aware of with lapis. I mean, I know it's good for, it works as a psychic, on the psychic level, but I wasn't aware it helps people read thoughts. Mm.
I don't know if it's everyone. I don't know if it is everyone because you know how people are more in
Sure.
certain things. But I do
Yeah.
that the longer that you work specifically with lapis, that you start to have things that just naturally happen, and you can't really
Right.
explain them, and they're not like kooky,
Yeah.
creepy, but you start to get this air of clarity. It's kind
Mm.
of like a third person clarity where it's definitely coming from spirit. It's not necessarily coming from ideas, from scrolling,
Sure.
anything that you've seen before. It's something that is originating between
Outside, yeah, outside of your normal experience.
yeah, I'm gonna
Wow.
why life
I mean,
is so
that's fascinating.
expensive aside from the way it's mine. But yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay. So, what have you got any other beauties for us today?
I did not intentionally bring this Larimar, but apparently in one
Oh, I love Larimar.
party,
Oh,
party, Larimar is also a very much luxury gem, and it
mm,
gives you, hotel resort by the beach. Where you sleep with the shutters open and so that you can smell the ocean.
the breeze, yeah, coming in. In an environment something like what's behind me here in Miami.
Absolutely. So maybe that's why Larimar wanted to come. And Larimar here, let me go ahead and give all of the luxury vibes to you because you are in the land.
Oh, lovely.
You are in the land of luxury. So I'm here for that.
Yeah, I mean, I laugh because about a week ago we had the like international boat show. So I mean, the place was just crawling with all of these people in their Lamborghinis and Maseratis and God knows what else. It was
I
just
love
like,
it.
oh, my, mucking up the traffic.
Yeah, that's how I feel in LA. We have anything, basically.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, but it's also, I find that Larimar, I mean, I have a small piece of Larimar, not quite that big. And I find that just looking at it look, the colors, it reminds me of the sea,
Yeah.
like seawater. And it just looks very calming and very relaxing. I think, people don't realize that even the color of crystals can make a difference with regard to how we respond to things.
Yeah.
Um,
This is the shade of blue they put in children's bedrooms for a reason. Like that, you want to have. Lamar is very conducive of that serene energy, especially well in a sphere form. Whenever we're dealing with a lot of unknown things, the sphere helps to radiate that energy, no matter what. So if something happens, you're still aware that you can choose to be serene, no matter what. you know,
yeah.
Even if the children have, spilled something, even if, the bank account have done something that it should not have done, whatever, you still have
Mm,
a choice to choose, clarity for yourself and just take a minute. Lermar always makes
right.
take a minute. And anytime I've slept with it, I've always felt very, very refreshed as I've awakened. And we know
Mm,
all sleep is, equal.
mm. Yeah. But I mean, does it have any? I'm just curious. Does it have any particular impact with regard to dreaming, or is it more for to enhance sleep? I'm just curious, or does it do both?
More
I'm not sure.
a restful thing, and because when you awake and visualize an ocean while
Hmm.
you're working with it, I can only imagine what your subconscious is visualizing and playing with if you decide that you're going to sleep with Larimar. I haven't
Right.
worked with it enough in the sleeping capacity to know
Hmm.
specifics or maybe remember specifics, or my spirit doesn't necessarily want to communicate them right now. But I will
Right.
say, whenever I've worked with Larimar Awake, I've always had that, let me take a break feeling, or let me just look at some flowers and just let me go hear some birds somewhere. Let me just walk outside and have some sun on my face. It always takes me to nature. So I'm assuming
Hmm.
it can. I don't know what it could do for dreams, but whew,
Well, I mean, I would imagine that if you have a crystal that kind of frees your mind and relaxes the mind, that any impressions that you may have, what we call daydreaming, how many things were invented because of dreams, whether they were daydreams or sleeping dreams. From Google to E equals MC squared. I mean, people have been inventing all kinds of things and creating all kinds of things because their minds are relaxed and impressions can come in, so we can think laterally rather than in a hierarchical way. So I would imagine that Larimar, and this, and maybe I'll need to experiment with that myself, with my own bit of Larimar, that it may relax the mind enough so that new ideas and new perspectives on things can come in. And that's where it can enhance creativity in that way. So that's something to think about. I said, we'll have to, run some experiments and see
it,
what happens.
it literally
Uh,
like downloading as you're a process that a lot of us go through on a regular basis, but you're just saying it in regular words. So that, but
mhm.
it's exactly what it is. So yeah, I'm definitely
Well, I said, I think we've given folks some things to think about. I said, don't want to overload them, but if you have questions about how you can use crystals to enhance your sleep or to improve your dream recall or some other aspect of dreaming, you have only to get to me, or you can reach Shy at the Quantum Gems here on Instagram, and ask her directly. But I'm certainly able to, having been using crystals and as a crystal healer for many years, I can certainly also answer questions. But we always have a good time talking crystals, and I just thought it would be nice for people to get a different perspective. I mean, you can not only enhance your environment by having a beautiful crystal in your environment or wearing it, but you can also improve your sleep, and enhance your dreams. And I think that that's a much nicer way of doing things than to take a pill, or a shot of something to help improve your sleep. I mean, there's so many other things that we can do that are more natural and more in harmony with our bodies than something that literally sledgehammers the body into submission, which is what medication will do. You sleep so deeply that you won't dream anyway, and wake up feeling exhausted because you haven't gone through your normal sleep cycle. So thank you so much. You're very, very welcome, Kelly. I'm glad you enjoyed our chat. And as I said, you can get to myself or get to Shy here on Instagram for more questions and advice with regard to how you can use crystals to enhance your sleep and your dreams. So thank you, Shy. I said, I'm so glad you were able to join me this morning all the way from LA. And as a note, we actually used to be neighbors, though we didn't know each other at the time. So it's really kind of funny that I was in England when I met up with Shy, even though we lived very close to each other when I lived in LA.
That's fun.
So thank you, my dear. As a pleasure as always. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, share the video. It'll be posted soon. Share it with others. Let them find out about how crystals may be able to help them. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Shy. A pleasure as always. And I hope you'll join me for the next episode of Dream Your Life and Live Your Dream. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of the day.